All right, so everyone, so welcome, welcome, welcome. And I know you see menopause and mimosa, you see menopause, March Madness. Look, the key word here is menopause. And so I'm your host, Carlika Katrina Basnight-Menendez, yes, all of that. And I have an amazing guest with us. And I feel like some of the guests, we just stumble across each other, especially on LinkedIn. So if you're not on LinkedIn and you're looking for some amazing connection, head on over there. Make sure you connect with Tracy. And if you're not following neither one of us, make sure you hit that follow button and then let's go beyond that connection button, right? Send an inbox, introduce yourself, let someone know how can I serve and support you, and genuinely meaning what is it that you do. And so you may be wondering, why are we talking about the hottest topic in the world, right? It's literally the hottest topic. And everyone may not experience a hot flash or night sweats or even some weight gain and all of the things. And so I like to talk about menopause from different angles. And there's nothing better than bringing other guests with their journey, with their expertise, with their experience. Because you know what? I'm not going to reach every woman, but something that Tracy may say today, you might be like, I need to work with her. I need to connect with her. So Tracy, welcome and thank you.
Hi, Carlika. Thank you so much for having me on your March Madness series. I hope that I'm going to be able to share some interesting things today about menopause and movement with you and with your followers.
Absolutely. And so, Tracy, just introduce yourself a little bit. Let people know exactly what it is that you do. Just give them a little snippet because we're going to dive into this conversation a little more.
Amazing. So I am Tracy Seider. I am a peri and postmenopause exercise specialist. But more than that, I am an alignment reshaping coach. That is what I do. I am all about alignment, not just exercise for the shape of exercise, but how is your body able to exercise based on your biomechanics, based on what is going on with your skeleton. And this is actually a second career for me. I was an English language editor. I'm originally from South Africa. That's the funny accent you're hearing. And I've been living with my husband and daughters in Toronto now for, I think it's almost 16 years. Time flies. Time flies when you're cold. So, but previous to being an alignment and movement coach, I edited academic journals for 25 years. And when I was in my mid-40s, I thought I had done all the right things. I've been doing yoga since I was 15, since even before Sting and Madonna made it a thing, right? I was doing yoga. So although I had a desk job, I thought that I was ticking off the exercise block. You know, we're told by the government, you know, the CDC guidelines to exercise 150 minutes of moderate exercise, 75 minutes of intense, and weightlifting 2 or 3 times a week. I thought I was ticking off all the boxes because I was moving even more than that. And I was a yoga teacher part-time. But in my mid-40s, when I was about 45, I was struggling with hip pain, neck pain, back pain, bladder leaking. And I was like, how could all this be happening to me? Surely I have done all the right things. And turns out there was something very important that I was overlooking. So when I found out about that and was able to use this approach to get incredible changes in my body, I really felt compelled to, shut down my editing company and teach other women what no one else is telling us that is so crucial and so foundational.
Wow, that is amazing. And you all, when you go to her LinkedIn page, the first thing that I saw, helping women get ache free.
Yes.
Okay. And that is one of the things I believe too on this menopausal journey or just in life. A lot of times we're not really talking about our joints. We hear a lot about osteoporosis, right? And I won't even say a lot. We hear the word, but we never associate that sometimes with menopause. We never associate that. We really associate that with old age, if we're just honest, right? And like you said, 40 something is not old at all. So I don't know, you all, have you start waking up and you're just like, oh, my pelvic is a little, it's a little achy here and it's a little achy in my neck.
And the thing is, we normalize it. We don't even, there are some people with chronic conditions that I can help, but really what I'm doing, and I have a 12-week program called the Reshape Method, is that it's these aches and pains that bring us down, that stop us from aging audaciously, and that have us in what I call our health practitioner carousel of physio, chiro, acupuncture, massage, right? Where we have to get these tune-ups every few weeks or every few days just to live a normal life. And then before you know it, the aches and pains are right back. And it's like this is normalized, right? This aches and pains and bladder leaking, pelvic floor stuff. Oh, it's just a normal part of aging. Suck it up, which is what I was being told in my mid-40s. But absolutely. I've always been a bit of a rebel at heart. And I was like, something about this did not sit well with me. I did not believe that this is just a normal part of aging. And that's when I started, looking more into it. And the other thing I wanted to say is that often I will speak to women and they'll go, no, I'm fine. My menopause is going okay. Maybe I just got some weight gain and hot flashes. I'm like, but how are you feeling in your body? Like, no, I'm fine in my body. But then I start talking to them. They go, oh, I've got this neck pain that never goes away. And I have to wear orthotics in my feet. And I've got this. And we don't realize that these nagging aches and pains are A, not normal, and B, that they're actually bringing us down. They're putting a dampener on our menopause, and although they are common, they are not normal. So what I like to say is, while there is absolutely a hormonal factor involved in these maybe stiffness and aches and pains coming up, because estrogen is protective of so many things, of over like 400 processes in the body, our menopause, our perimenopause and postmenopause also coincides with our age, where our body has taken wear and tear, right? There's wear and tear on our joints, on our movement. We have poor movement patterns, and underlying all of this, and this is where my approach is different, because we're really looking under the hood and going to the root cause of what's going on. Certainly there's a hormonal factor, but just taking HRT is not going to resolve everything, right? Certainly it's not going to stop the wear and tear on your body. That is being created because you have poor biomechanics. You have poor movement patterns. Things are rubbing up against each other that shouldn't be rubbing up against each other. The muscles and joints that are meant to be moving you are not. So you're getting you're getting underuse issues and injuries in the joints and muscles that are meant to be moving you, and overuse issues in the joints and muscles that are not meant to be moving you, but are moving you. And why? Because your skeleton does not look like this. This is anatomical neutral, and all skeletons are kind of skeleton models, or pictures of skeletons are drawn in pretty much the same way, right? Almost exactly the same way, because at rest, our bones are meant to be at specific places and angles relative to each other and relative to gravity. And by the time we hit midlife, our skeleton is no longer looking like this. And when it comes to alignment, when it comes to biomechanics, millimeters matter. And so my approach is, while exercise is great, we all need to be exercising to help with the hot flushes, right? We don't want to be over exercising. We need to be exercising. We need to be strength training. We need to be walking, doing all these things that we were being told to do. But what I want women to really, really take away from this is to bear in mind that you are going into that yoga class, that walk, that weight training session, that Pilates class with a skeleton that is misshapen. It is not in an optimal biomechanical alignment, and therefore the way your brain and body knows how to do that class, it is being done with cheats and compensations. And it's those cheats and compensations in your movement that cause the aches and pains, which is why when people do the Reshape method, which is an alignment reshaping and movement coaching program, because I've got to watch you doing the movements, because you don't even know what your cheats are, because your brain just knows Karlika is Karlika. This is how Karlika walks. This is how Karlika breathes. This is how Karlika reaches and drinks her drink. Even simple things like this, most of us are not using the right muscles and the right joints even to take a drink of water.
Oh, wow. Okay. So because I'm going to drink my water, right? So I love what you said even earlier about let's getting down to the root cause, right?
Yes.
Because we're going, a lot of people go and get acupuncture. They're going to get the massages. They're going to the chiropractor and all of these different things. And then before they know it, like 3 to 4 weeks later, they have they're on a
right?
Because it's like, if I don't get this, then my body aches without just really saying, am I really in alignment? And so when we think of after even having children, let me speak for myself. I didn't have anyone telling me anything about my pelvis or my pelvic. We know it's going to stretch, it's going to do all the things to birth that baby, but overall, we were never really having the conversations of pelvic health. We were never really having the conversations of really your body being in total alignment in different things.
Right. And when you're pregnant, often the ladies who I see who come to me, this is how most of us are. We're in almost this pregnancy alignment with the pelvis tipped forward and the ribs upward, and this has an effect on your pelvic floor. So people come and see me, right? We're never properly rehabilitated out of that skeletal positioning that we get stuck in when we're pregnant.
Wow.
And so I say to like women in their 60s, like, how old is your youngest child? They go, oh, he's 30. I'm like, well, you can go and tell your partner that you're still in a pregnancy alignment.
Oh my God, it just makes and we have to get ready to end this conversation. But since you mentioned the water, give us a tip on the proper way that we should, or possibly, right? And it may be a little different for different people, but we have to get connected. I want you to definitely, she has a 12-week program, reshaping and getting in alignment. And how many of us are just like, oh, I don't really want to be achy? Because going to the chiropractor, and I'm not telling anyone this is not any medical advice, you all seek your medical professional team, but it's financial. So this is why we have these conversations about menopause on so many different aspects and angles, because it is emotional, it is psychological, it is skeletal, it is your skin, like it's all your bodily systems. So it's not just one thing, it's not just walking. It's most of us probably sleep so wrong, and that's why we're like, oh my God.
Well, the problem is most of us, I've yet to meet a single person who's actually even walking properly or breathing properly. There's an optimal way to walk that the human body was designed to walk, and most of us can no longer do that because we're out of alignment. That's a whole other conversation. Let me just say about the physio, the chiropractor, the acupuncture, and all of that. I have an amazing team. I love them. Best people on the planet. Okay, this is not a diss on your chiropractor. The thing is that your chiropractor, massage therapist, blah, 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 they cannot change your alignment and your movement patterns, because that can only be done actively in your body from the inside out. What they are doing to you is passive, okay? Which is why it doesn't last. So I absolutely, my members of the Reshape Method, I recommend that they do, if they're hitting up against their fascial boundaries, go and see your massage therapist, right? Go and see your chiropractor, because they will be able to open the space for you. Their hands-on work will work through your fascial tension and open the space. But if that work that your manual therapist is doing to you is not followed up with specific active movements in your body, then it's not going to last. It's not going to stick. Right. So I'm not saying that the chiro, the physio, that is worthless. Not at all. I'm saying that it needs to be done in tandem with the physical active work that you are doing. And that is the thing that is missing for so many of us. I know so many people say, I didn't even know a program like this even existed, that was even possible for me to reshape my own alignment. So that's what I really want your followers to understand, that certainly for me, before I came into this work, I didn't even know that the possibility existed.
Wow.
I didn't even know that I had an issue.
That's what we're about, giving people resources, giving individuals options to say, right? Because we don't get to control every single thing around us, right? We don't know when the next whatever may happen in our life or anything, situation, circumstance, or anything. But with the things that I in Pennsylvania recently, we had a menopause and mimosa event, and I love what a lady said. She said, "Control the controllables," right? Yes. Control the controllables. So the things that we can get more educated on, the things that we can do every day as part of our lifestyle, those are that's coupled with the chiropractor and acupuncture. And when we merge all of those amazing things together, including your 12-week reshaping program to get women in alignment, or men, right? To get everyone in alignment, then we're going to see a difference. And so look, Tracy is a busy woman, you all. So Tracy, let everyone know how they can connect with you.
I will, but let me tell you about the water, okay? So this is the thing. Most people, we have similar movement cheats and compensations. For the lower body, most people are what's called quad dominant, because our leg is not actually vertical to the ground. We're actually all a little bit diagonal and tipped forward. Actually, you can see my leg is actually not vertical, it's diagonal. So most people are what's called quad dominant. Their butt and their hamstrings can't hold them up and move them, because that is vertical, that is diagonal. And suddenly you're like, you're right, it's diagonal. Okay, so that's typically what's happening on the lower body. The upper body, most people are upper trap dominant. These muscles over here that give us the neck pain and the forward head and the mid back pain and the shoulder pain, these muscles are breathing us, but that's a completely different conversation. Plus, whenever we come to do anything with our upper body, we're looking for strength from these tiny little muscles, because we are upper trap dominant. And that's why I say your movement is great. Have you heard movement is medicine? Have you heard like the hashtag movement is medicine? I'm like, yeah, but with a qualifier. Movement is medicine if you are doing that movement with the right movement patterning. But if you're not using the right movement pattern because you are out of alignment, then that movement can actually be the malady. It can be what is causing the problem. So, for example, just lifting up your water bottle. So just lift up your water bottle and just see what muscle are, like when you lift it up to your mouth. Most people, when they grab this water bottle, they're using these muscles. Like if you were to take this above your head, right, you see, you scrunch this muscle to take it above your head. This is what most people are doing. What I want you to do is, in order to lift the arm above the head, you can either use these muscles in the neck, right? Or you can use the muscles under the arm, all these huge muscles through your back, your serratus, which means your core is involved. So what I want you to do is, so just lift it above your head as you normally would. Okay, now lower it. Now what I want you to do is, I want you to hold it, press through your pinky finger. And now I want you to slowly lift the water bottle, but you're not allowed to use your neck muscles. I want you to press through your pinky finger, keep the other fingers loose, and feel like the muscles under your shoulder are working to lift your arm. Can you feel that? Can you feel the strength and the pulling coming from there? So we don't want the shoulder lifting up to the ear. We want the strength coming from, now there's huge muscles on your back that are doing the work, as opposed to these little muscles on your neck. So that means you get more force generation, because you've got all these mid traps, lower traps, lats, serratus, core doing the work, as opposed to these teeny tiny little muscles that get overdeveloped because we're using them for everything. And then those push your head forward, which then gives you this hyperkyphosis, which then gives you this closing out over here. So that's just, so now when you lift things, I want you to think about keeping your shoulder, don't let your shoulder come up to your ear. Get the lift coming from under the shoulder and feel how many more muscles get involved, and your neck is nice and loose. Like our neck is meant to be like a 90-degree angle here, but I see so many people have overdeveloped necks, and that causes a lot of pain and issues.
you all, we would definitely have to have Tracy again, okay, where we can have our mats and she can do like a 10-minute demo period by itself, right? That we get our
Absolutely.
mats, we get our
Yeah.
water, we get all of the things that we need, because we don't ever think about overusage of muscles
Yes.
until they're hurting,
Yeah.
right? Until they're stiff, until it's like, oh my God, my neck
Mm.
so tight.
Mhm.
So Tracy, I just have to say thank you, you all. I'm definitely going to be lifting my water differently. I'm going to be more
Mhm.
intentional, because it gives you something to really think about,
Yes.
that all of these little muscles, and then we have these big muscles back here that we're just like, oh, they're not being as much as they could, right? So Tracy, thank you. Let everyone know how they can connect with you.
Amazing. So you can go to my website, tracyseidercoaching.com. I've got more explanation and free resources happening there. Also explaining more about the reshape method, and I also you can see before and after examples of people who've gone through the reshape method and how their alignment has changed, and then how their aches and pains have resolved, and even sleeping better through the night, fewer hot flushes, things like that as well. So my website, tracyseidercoaching.com. On LinkedIn, Tracy Seider, and I have a Facebook group, which is where a lot of my magic goes down. It is called the Moving and Reshaping Group for post menopause. I have tons of free challenges going down all the time. This week we're running an encore presentation of my Untick Your Neck workshop that is happening over the weekend. So head over onto my channels and take a look at that. Next month, actually in May, I'm doing another walking challenge, a 5-day walking challenge. And that people always love that, because not only are we going out walking and taking pictures of the beautiful places that we live, but I'm showing you how to get a more butt-driven, calorie-building, pelvic floor toning gait. Because if you can't walk properly, and none of us can walk properly, really your body can't do anything properly. And all we're doing is we're talking about just getting back to optimal. And that is something that everybody can do. It is the ultimate control, the controllable.
Oh, I love it. Well, you all, look, I know we could stay here all day, but Tracy has a packed schedule. I have other calls and all the things to do. And I'm a mom. So, of course, I have things to do with the kids, right? Tracy has things to do with her children as well. But, Tracy, I want to say thank you. And you all, this is just the first conversation, I pray, of many, because this is definitely something that is needed. And so many people, women, are looking for more holistic lifestyle changes. And I'm not telling you what to do. We're not telling you how to do it. You make the conscious decision for yourself of whatever treatment plan is going to be best for you. But can we encourage you that lifestyle changes and habits, they're not just for you, but they're for generations to come. So the more we know and the more educated and empowered we are, now we can pass this amazing information down to our children, and then it'll just keep going, and then they'll develop these healthy habits way before they're even menopausal, or our sons and supporters and different ones, right? These are lifestyle changes for the family. And when we can empower the family, then we can empower our community. And when we empower a community, then we can empower our world. So Tracy, keep up all the amazing work that you're doing, getting people in alignment, one woman, one man, one family at a time. And so thank you. I appreciate you. Definitely stay connected.
Thank you so much, Advi, for inviting me to speak to your community.
You are so welcome. So you all, I will make sure I have links and different things that you can follow, and make sure that you get connected, and let's get in on these challenges, okay? Because we don't know what we don't know until we're actually in the atmosphere to learn it. So this has been another episode of Menopause March Madness in honors of Women's History Month, but this is lifestyle changes. This is information for a lifetime, not just for this month, because there's not just going to be a woman going into menopause or in menopause this month, but every single day. And so let's walk better, let's think better, let's talk better, and let's live happier, healed, whole, holistic lives. Till the next time, I'm Carlika Basnight-Menendez. Yes, all of that. And we will talk to you soon.